Venezuela's fall from democracy. Venezuela, once a beacon of democracy and prosperity in South America, has tragically transformed into a rogue state under Chávez and Maduro. Strategically located with access to the Caribbean Sea and Atlantic Ocean, just 2,200 kilometers from Miami, its 916,445 square kilometers offered immense potential. However, the regime's dismantled democratic institutions, concentrated power, and fueled corruption, turning a resource-rich nation into a hub of organized crime and terrorism, including the number 5 ranked Tren de Aragua, also called TDA. This deliberate destruction erased checks and balances, leaving a legacy of authoritarian rule. Economic devastation and corruption. Venezuela's economic collapse stems from mismanagement, oil dependency, and corruption under Chávez and Maduro. With over 1,500 companies expropriated since 2000, production plummeted. PDVSA oil output fell from 3.5 million to 700,000 barrels per day, and side-ore steel dropped 97%. Hyperinflation hit 1.7 million% in 2018, while 7.7 million, 25% of the population, fled. Ranked number 1 for corruption in the Americas and worst business environment globally, the regime enriched itself through drug trafficking and illegal gold mining. This self-inflicted ruin turned a net exporter into an import-dependent nation. The role of expropriations. Chávez and Maduro's expropriation of over 1,500 companies, GD, ExxonMobil, 2007, Seador, 2008, and Kellogg's, oil giants were ousted, steel production collapsed, and agriculture faltered, triggering 60-plus ICSID disputes costing billions. This resource nationalism, coupled with firing 20,000 PDVSA workers, gutted expertise and investment, dropping FDI by 90%. The 2012 ICSID exit sealed the nation's isolation. Sanctions versus mismanagement. U.S. sanctions since 2017 targeted Venezuela's regime for human rights abuses and drug trafficking, but they didn't cause the collapse. Hyperinflation, PDVSA's ruin, and expropriations began 50% before 2019 oil embargoes. Sanctions limit regime laundering, pushing it to Russia, Iran, and China, while ordinary citizens suffer. True recovery lies in addressing internal failures, not external blame. Natural resource wealth untapped. Venezuela boasts the world's largest oil reserves, 303 billion barrels, number 3 gold, 10,000 tons, and significant iron ore, bauxite, and rare earths. Ranked number 10 for natural gas, fresh water, and renewable energy, its potential is vast. Yet expropriations and neglect have left these resources underutilized. The Orinoco River and Caribbean coast ports could drive exports, but decades of socialist policies have crippled infrastructure. A shift to free markets could unlock 50 to 100 billion US dollars annually. Path to recovery. Venezuela's revival requires ousting the Maduro regime, drafting a new democratic constitution, and privatizing PDVSA in state firms. Legal reforms, purging corruption, and dismantling cartels like Tren de Aragua or TDA are critical. Reopening to foreign investment, stabilizing the Bolivar, and reintegrating with Western democracies could unlock its resource wealth. Led by Edmundo González Urrutia and Maria Corina Machado, this transition could end poverty and reclaim regional leadership. Geopolitical and security threats. Venezuela, under Maduro, is a geopolitical threat, allied with Russia, Iran, and Cuba, and hosting terrorist groups such as Hamas, Hezbollah, and Tren de Aragua, TDA, each from 5 terrorist group. Drug trafficking, arms smuggling, and human rights abuses rank at number 2 globally for violations. Border security and military reform are urgent to dismantle the Cartel de los Soles. A democratic shift could restore stability and global trust. A call to action. Venezuela's journey from democracy to rogue state is a cautionary tale of ideology over pragmatism. With unmatched resources and strategic ports, It could rise again under free markets and rules of law. Dismantling corruption, restoring justice, and welcoming investment are the keys. Support the transition led by the real president elected in 2024 and Democratic leaders González Urrutia and Maria Corina Machado to rebuild this nation.